Hi guys, it's Nicole here with the 411 Mamas. I wanted to do this video based on something that I've been going through over the past 2 weeks. All three of my kids have been really sick. We actually had a very big scare with my second daughter, Malia. She had a febrile seizure, and it was just the most scariest experience of my entire life, scariest moment. And you know, with that being said, I'm taking everything that I've learned from this week and just applying it to, you know, the future from here on out, and I'm just trying to turn it into something positive. And you know, I'm just very thankful that they are all on the road to recovery and all getting better. And also, I did a day on the life video of the day that this happened, and I posted it last week. So thank you for all of your comments on that video. It really means so much to me to know and be comforted by the fact that a lot of you guys have experienced this, and it is quite common, more common than I had initially thought. And yeah, so I just want to thank you guys for that. It really helped me get through this tough time and tough week, and just biggest challenge I've ever had as a mother, you know, especially when them all being sick at once. In this way, it's just been the worst like cold flu season ever. With that being said, I just did a video for my main channel. I'm sharing my tips or tips and tricks on like being prepared for the cold and flu season. And if you're interested in that video, it goes more into depth than this video will. I'll leave that link down below. And yeah, so I just wanted to share some things that are in my little medicine bag. So I don't know what I'll call this. What's in my medicine bag? I don't know, something like that. So I just thought this is important, being that it's the cold and flu season. Maybe a lot of these things are just common sense and you probably already do already, but I thought it'd be fun to share, especially since yeah, since these are things that this is what I've been going through for the past 2 weeks. So obviously my bag is not closed at the moment because I have just way too many things that I've added that I didn't have before. And I'm using a makeup bag, which is actually waterproof. It's like by Avon or Mark. Because this is what I use when we travel, and I carry medications with me in case, because you never know, and it has happened in the past where the kids have gotten sick. First thing I have here is a Ziploc full of different kinds of cups and syringes to use to give the kids their medications. The next thing I have here are straws, and I recently discovered that my son will only take his medication through a straw, not direct from the cup, not direct from the syringe, but I'll have to pour the medication into these little cuppies, and then he'll drink it from the straw. And there's excess that will stay in the straw, so I'll just let him drink his juice or water through the straw to kind of pull up that excess that's still in the straw. But that's just my little trick that I have just recently found out now, because it's the only way he would take medication. And of course, speaking of medication, I always keep, these are things that I have in here even, you know, without them being sick. I always make sure to have an acetaminophen, an ibuprofen, and a cough medicine with me at all times, and to always make sure that their expiration dates are not expired. I put them in a Ziploc because they get sticky and, you know, dirty and stuff, and it's good for when you travel and all that. So they can get sick in the middle of the night, and maybe you can't get to a local drugstore in time to give them their medication to prevent their fevers from going up higher. So it's always important to have these on hand. And with the cough medicine, I always make sure only to give that after we have seen the doctor. And even for everything else, especially with infants, just always consult with your doctor and make sure you know the weights of your kids. Thank you. So that you can give them the proper dosage. It's not really based on age. I've learned that even recently too, that if you give it based on age, it might not be the right amount. It's more so based on their weight for it to be effective. Next thing, I have a Ziploc here of all different types of thermometers. I have these sticker ones that my mom actually got for me from the hospital. They're kind of give a roundabout idea if they have a fever or not, but it's not as accurate as when you take it through the ear, this is a brand that I don't really like, Safety First, because I cannot get the battery compartment open at all. And the brand that I do love is Braun, and I couldn't find that anywhere recently. So we just got this, which is easier to open because it's AA batteries. But this is like a temporal one. And I'm still learning how to properly use this, but it's pretty effective. It's very fast and gives an accurate reading. A good backup to have are these like old school type ones that you can use under the arm or rectally or in the mouth. But I've been using these for under the arm but they do take some time to get the proper reading. So that's the only reason why I don't like this. So of everything, I prefer the ear one, which I need to buy a new one, but whatever works for you. But always have backups and always have extra batteries, because, you know, you definitely is important to, you know, keep on them and checking their temperature, because you don't want it to get too high. Another thing is saline drops or saline spray. This is baby one. I still use these for all my kids, and it just kind of clears their nasal passages, opens it up a little bit more, especially if they're congested, moisturizes and helps clear congestion, and it's just really handy, and it works, you know, really good. Aside from that, we have Vapor Rub, Vicks Vapor Rub. It's not suggested to use this if your child is under 2 years old, but all my kids are over 2, and we like to use this mainly for rubbing down their chest and their back before bedtime, because it's a cough suppressant, it says. And it's also good to dab a little bit under their nose, like before they sleep. We like to do that, and not everybody does that, but the kids are comforted by that. Aside from that, I don't like to use regular tissues when their noses are runny, because it irritates them so bad. Even though they're ones that say they're like aloe, they have all kinds of things in them that won't make their nose irritated, it still makes their nose irritated, at least for my kids. So I've discovered this recently using really old worn down washcloths, baby washcloths. These are not effective anymore for washing or scrubbing down. They're so really soft that they're perfect for like wiping their nose. And I have tons of these that, good thing I didn't throw away, because I keep one in like every pocket jacket, every bag, every diaper bag, everywhere all around the house, like a clean one. And then every time it gets used up, you know, throw that in the wash and just keep washing and rotating them. And their nose doesn't get irritated because they're so soft. And when their nose starts to run, they're just like, mommy, cloth. And then I just wipe them up and they're good to go. And being that if your child is on tons of medication or you have multiple children, it is nearly impossible to keep up with it all up here, especially if you get stressed out and it's just really overwhelming. Notepad, whatever, journal, and a pen, always handy so you can document. I'm using this right now to document all their medications. I initial their name, put the time, the type of medication, and how many, you know, if it's their first one for the day or it's the second one, so that I know if their dose is complete for the day. A book is also good to have on hand prior to them even being on medication. Before you go see the doctor, it's good to just document like their temperatures. Also, if maybe they're vomiting, or maybe they're not, or maybe they have diarrhea, or just to kind of keep track of what all of their symptoms are, so that when you do go to the doctor, you can kind of have accurate documentation. Because it can be easy to forget, especially if you have multiple kids like me. It's hard to keep track of who did what at this time and what not. So having, you know, documentation of it, whether it's on paper or on your phone or whatever it is, I think is really important. So those are the things that are in my little medicine bag. And some things that I have outside that I always have around are hand sanitizer and Lysol Lysol disinfecting wipes. You definitely want to help prevent spreading it even more. And I have more tips on these things on the video that I just did for the channel, my main channel, and I'll link that down below. And I want to thank you guys for watching and for all of your sweet messages and comments on my most recent video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!